Welcome to the third special episode of Tesaks Devlogs. Today, I would like to talk about something that's been posing challenge to me my whole life. Hello everyone, I am Tesak. It's not my real name, but everyone, even my friends, have been calling me like that for years. I am founder and CEO of Tesaks Entertainment, and with the help of my company, I released two full games called Puzzle Pieces and Walker of Aldenor for mobile and PC, two demo games on itch.io, and soon there will be first tabletop game as well. I am all about games and game dev, and so is this channel. And one thing I've been always fighting with is motivation. It's hard for me to stay consistent and focus on one goal for extended period of time if some project requires that. It's also quite hard for me to just go and do stuff, and I do struggle with this on my daily basis. But after many years struggling with this, I have some tips and tricks how to get things done. But hey, every single YouTuber is doing this right now, so let me try it as well. I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel and gently like this video. Other YouTubers are asking for smashing like button and stuff. Don't be so harsh on it, or YouTube might remove it as well. We all know what happened to the dislikes and stuff, and these were smashed pretty bad. By doing so, you will tell YouTube that this video is worth showing to other people as well, which might be a good thing. But hey, back to the video, and let me just add quick disclaimer. I am not an expert, and whatever I will be talking about here is just stuff from my experience. Stuff that worked or didn't work for me. And because it works for me, it doesn't mean it will work for you at all. I just thought it would be interesting to share this experience with the world around me, as it ties closely to the field of game dev, and I heard often about the other developers struggling with motivation as well. So watch and try on your own risk, and don't hold me liable. Okay, motivation is like clear path with clear goal at the end. You can walk this path easily, and it's rather pleasant to travel, and thus the goal is easy to obtain. Of course, this is just a metaphor, but this metaphor is already telling us quite a lot, because what I found is that once you have clear vision of what you want to achieve in a reasonable amount of time, is what is going to fuel your motivation the most. This doesn't mean your motivation won't just give up on you suddenly, it just means it's going to be less likely, especially with bigger projects. But for now, the point is that planning is key. One should choose clear, manageable goal within a reasonable time, which is nice for small projects, like let's say drawing set of sprites for single item, but what about bigger goals? And this is where it gets tricky. But once again, this is where you really need that clear goal and reasonable amount of time. It can get more vague now, though. Let me explain. I do work on projects that are varying in sizes, and some of these projects take hours or day, for example emojis and banners for Discord. Or it can take months, like games. Puzzle Pieces took me approximately 24 months, because I was learning a lot during that time. Walker of Aldenor, considerably larger game that took me about 16 months. I was still learning a lot. And Gems Defenders are being developed for more than a year now, but I have been really working on the game only for about 7 months maybe. Still, a rather large scale project. How do I achieve my goals with such projects? Well, three things: breaking up stuff, planning, and consistency. Let me explain each point separately. Breaking stuff up, because you can't just go and finish a whole biggish game in days. So it's far better, for me, to break up the goal of quote unquote finish the game into manageable chunks. I will give example on Gems Defenders. First goal was to create match 3 part of the game, which took me about a day or two, I think. It really took me about a week because I had to learn once again bunch of stuff, and I was doing it with simultaneously working on updates for Puzzle Pieces and Walker of Aldenor. But don't get ahead of ourselves, it still applies. The thing is that now I could assign clear time to it, which led me to knowing what to do and when to do it. Boom! Motivation kicks in, and I did it. With the goal cleared, my mind was happy, which in turn made me able to focus on next goal. That would lead me to the next part of the game being successfully completed, and so on and so forth, leading up to this point where the game is almost done. Bottom line is that bigger projects need to be broken down into smaller parts, and each part taken care of separately, especially if only one person is working on it. And this approach helps a lot, since with each completed goal you will get a huge motivation boost that will help you continue. I think it has something to do with dopamine and stuff that gets produced whenever you achieve something which makes you happy and your body wants more. and the only way to get more is to finish another goal. But don't quote me on that. But this all will fail if you don't do planning, because breaking up without planning is just going to be a mess. I don't do excessive planning, but I do plan my goals. It's important to do it enough so all the goals are clear, but don't overdo it and blow a ton of time on it. But planning is relatively easy and you can set it up as your first goal, thus getting your first motivation kick easily once it's done and thus chasing further goals more easier. Just to give an example, there is my plan for Walker of Aldenor. Number 1. Read steps from device. Number 2. Reward player with energy for steps. Number 3. Allow players to exchange energy for resources and work. Number 4. Add buildings. Number 5. Add bonuses and statistics. Number 6. Add quests, challenges and achievements. Number 7. Add combat and stages. Number 8. Add UI. Number 9. Add visuals and graphics. Number 10. Or all the legal nonsense and stuff. And after that you can go into the cycle of testing and stuff, but hey, the game is done by that point. And that's 10 easy goals that allowed me to finish the game without really struggling with motivation. But wait, that's not all. There is one more crucial thing to that. You can do breaking up and planning all day long and then it would all just fail. Why? Because consistency. Look, I was someone who didn't do stuff consistently almost all my life. And thus, I had issue learning English and a bunch of other stuff at school, because I wasn't doing it consistently. Only in short and intense bursts when I really had to. I didn't finish ton of projects including images, board games, electronic games, crafts, stories, videos and video series on my personal YouTube channel exactly because of this. I did stuff in short intense bursts and I haven't had enough motivation to continue later on. Or if I continued, I stopped quickly when complications arise. So how do you battle this? Well, with consistency. Doing huge progress at once is nice and all, but if you can't manage it long term, it's worthless in the end. What really helped me with this is just consistency and understanding that it's not about doing it a lot, it's about doing at least something every day. Sometimes you just don't feel good or something happen in your life that prevents you from consistently pushing forward. But you can always do at least something. At least make a plan, post something online, which I'm not doing as much as I should, or just draw a sketch that will help you tomorrow. Just don't get caught in the endless doing the bare minimum loop. You should be working at least enough to make visible progress every day. And of course don't forget to take short breaks, because otherwise burnout is a real issue that can happen, and that's basically death sentence for your project. So, how am I doing this? I am working every day for at least 2 hours, but usually for 8+ hours on my projects. I will get to how to manage multiple projects at once in a minute, but let's focus on this for now. But because I experienced burnout and it nearly killed puzzle pieces, and then I almost achieved burnout again with the Gems Defenders, I decided to implement like short breaks into my routine. And I call this weekends. During weekend I am working only on the bare minimum for the main project. Like quick 20-minute sketch, or planning. Rest of the day is for my passion projects, gaming, my dog, family, just rest, you call it. Sometimes I even don't do anything at all during weekends, but then I have to do the extra hard work on the Monday because, well, the motivation is not there anymore. But hey, it's still worth the trouble, sometimes breaking the routine and getting more rest. Besides weekends, I do different work midweek on Wednesday. Mainly drawing, you can see that usually on stream, and updates for my released games. This way I'm still working on stuff, but I work on other stuff. And that's actually another point I want to make. But it didn't really fit to the trio I mentioned previously, because it only applies with big projects that take years. And that's mixing things up. Look, I'm considering my company to be my biggest project yet. And thus the goals are like finish Gems Defenders, do devlog on Monday, etc, etc. Which, as you can see, is really similar to how I broke down smaller projects. So these really gigantic projects can be broken down into big projects that can be broken down into smaller projects that can be broken down into small goals. This helps me a lot to focus on multiple things, even though I am just a single person and requires a little bit more planning, and to be honest to myself, how much I can manage in 1 week. But juggling many projects like this actually helps me a lot. Let me get into it a little bit deeper. So, let me talk about all my projects I am working on through the week. Right now I am working on Gems Defenders, Devlog, Special Devlog, board game, Instagram post, super secret project, and of course support for all my released games. For one guy, that's quite a lot of work. Let me tell it this way. I do have 3 big projects, Gems Defenders, board game, and super secret project. Out of these, Gems Defenders is the main project, so I am working mainly on it. When I don't feel like working on Gems Defenders, I can do different stuff, like board game or super secret project that I feel like doing right now, which allows me to really only do what I want at this point, which is, to be honest, kinda luxury I never had when I was employed. This would be actually enough for me, and I would like to ignore the rest of the projects, especially Instagram posts and devlogs, because I don't enjoy doing that much these. But because I am just one guy and stuff like this have to be done, well, I gotta do it as well. And you have to do stuff you don't like in your life from time to time. That's just how things works. But mixing these up with stuff you like is going to make them way more manageable and fun. Bottom line is, with multiple projects, flag one as your main project and work mainly on it. When there is something that needs a little bit of time to settle down, or maybe you don't feel like working on it today, well, you have another project that you can work on with hopefully something you like. Just make sure that you are not using this excuse too often. The secondary projects should be here for you to have productive escape plays, but they shouldn't become your main project until the main project is completed, and thus you will evade the endless cycle of escaping projects into another project without really finishing the previous project, which is a real issue, and I might make another video on it as well in the future. Let me know if that sounds like something you would like to hear about. Now, I wanted to end this video here, but I realized that there is ton of crap on the internet being advertised as something that's going to boost your productivity and motivation. So let me quickly tell you about stuff that really helped me to boost my productivity and motivation. Number 1, high quality set of pencils and notebook. Why? Because I like to draw sketches a lot when I am not near PC, so I can use these sketches to draw later on PC. Number 2, OneNote. Why? Because I can make quick notes from my phone and then read these on my PC. Number 3, whiteboard, so I can quickly plan what I will be doing that day. Or for super quick notes that I can leave myself at the middle of the night. This way I don't forget stuff anymore. Number 4, Google Calendar. For really important meetings and stuff, no more excuses why I arrived late. And number 5, which is final, is laptop, so I can do stuff even when I am not home. And before you say something like, but hey, that's expensive. No, it's not. Set of pencils and notebook literally costs me like €5 altogether. OneNote is free and you probably already own smartphone and PC. Whiteboard costs me like €40 and you can replace that with Trello or Asana. I just like physical stuff more. Google Calendar is free and I got decent laptop second hand for €70 or something like that, which is laughable. Yes, it's rather slow, but I made sure that I can do everything I need on it. I can draw pixel art and regular pictures, I can write short stories and scripts, and, well, I can run a Unity no problem. I wouldn't try building the game on it though. All in all, everything together costed me like €120, well, which is $135 as of making this video extra. In total, which is way less than I paid for my company to be founded. And it actually actively does something, unlike the company. So don't waste your money on stupid stuff some underpaid marketing guy in company is telling you will boost your motivation and productivity, because it won't, or at least not long term. Oh yeah, I forgot. I got Zippolizer and Fingerboard when I was still employed, and playing with these is what technically made me probably more productive to this day. Why? Because I am that kind of guy who have to do stuff with his fingers and hands when he's thinking, and I grew bored of accidentally breaking my pencils. But I am also using the Zippolizer all the time since I like to barbecue a lot, and the Fingerboard, well, I always had soft spot for these. What can I say? I am a boomer after all. So maybe the bottom line is that you should focus on what you are doing and what helps you to be more productive. And then be really critical, thinking, and mainly to be honest about it in front of yourself. Just to make sure you choose the right stuff and do the best and importantly informed decision in the end. Let me just quickly summarize what helped to me. Planning in order to get clear vision of your goal and the path that leads to it. Breaking up bigger goals into manageable chunks. Planning how you do these, being consistent, and taking breaks to make sure to not get burned out. And small tip, you should change your sitting position every 10 to 15 minutes, otherwise your back and neck will hurt. Besides that, make sure to stay hydrated and to stretch at least once in an hour. But hey, I feel like this video is long enough now and that I said everything I wanted. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that this was somehow interesting, entertaining, or even informative to you. I hope that I earned your like and subscribe with content like this. And I hope I will see you next time. So until then, take care and see ya.